What, howdy, gang. Wow, got choked up on that one. Hey, it's Chris Angel coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. And today we're talking about certainty. Yes, certainty is sexy. It is. It is sexy. Because it's certain, right? Like there's something about it that breathes confidence, right? And it's in that confidence that that there is attractiveness, right? So in the context of marketing, that's really important because if how we show up in marketing isn't certain, isn't confident, then what happens is we don't convey trust, or we don't convey that confidence in others. So how are people going to trust working with us if we don't show up that way in marketing? Now the weird thing is, outside of marketing, when we're just in a conversation with others about our business, most of the time we come off very clear, very confident, very certain. But the weird part, we get weird when we start to put our marketing hat on. This happens all the time, all the time. So I want to break this down a little bit and talk about it with you. So some of you know I was at a conference the last 2 days, yesterday and the day before, and I gave a talk. Now I give talks often. I speak often. I love speaking. This was a new experience. It was unfamiliar territory. It was uncertain territory, right? So I had to find in this this new group of people, this new type of audience with a new delivery style. I was in uncertain territory. And this is what happens a lot of times in our business. We find ourselves, whenever we're going to expand to the next level, we will find ourselves in uncertain territory, okay? Whether it's you're starting a new business, or you are in your current business and you're trying to break through a ceiling that you've been hitting for a while, and so you're having to try new things. For a lot of people, it simply comes down to marketing, because your ability to create leads on demand is going to come down to your ability to market, to communicate to newer people. If you're just relying on word of mouth and referral, that's not predictable. It's great, it's just not predictable. So the only way to create that predictability is through marketing. Yes, cause and effect. And for a lot of people, they know that. So they study marketing, they try new things with marketing, but because it's uncertain, what they bring to it is all the the weirdness of it, right? Like because they don't know what to do with it. So uncertainty is a given in your life if you're in business and you're going to expand your business beyond what you currently have. If you're happy with what you have right now, then just stay there and be certain with what you have right now. But if you're wanting to expand, and I think that's how we're wired as humans, is to grow and expand, then it's inevitable that you will expand into uncertain territory. So in that uncertain territory, it's imperative that you bring your certainty with you, because that is what's going to convey confidence in that uncertain territory, and then have people respond to you in that uncertain territory. Okay, so for example, I got a great response yesterday when I spoke. I was so blessed by those of you, if any of you are watching this, that were there. It was such a great experience to have you there and to have the message received. It's always great when your truth is received. And the cool part is, your truth isn't your truth alone. Like your truth is your tribe's truth. So when I talk about authenticity in marketing, when I talk about how it is, I hate trying to hard close people or manipulate people. I don't want to bother people. I want to inspire people. That resonates over there because that's true for me. And my truth isn't just my truth, it's their truth. But that's the secret, right? That's the ticket, is you've got to bring the things you are certain about in life, in business, into the uncertain territory. So for me, let's go back to the example. In this event, new people, new delivery and even a new conversation, a relatively new conversation. What I got on stage, I had 30 minutes. I usually have 2 hours to 3 hours. I usually have a slide deck. I did not have a slide deck. And I didn't exactly know how I would. It was just a completely different delivery, because the conference wasn't about marketing, and usually when I'm speaking, it is about business and marketing, and this wasn't that. So I had to bring my the story I was sharing. I had to bring what I was certain about into this conversation. And that is the power of this. When you bring what you know to be true, your truth, when you bring to the uncertain territory what you know to be true, that is what's certain. It conveys the certainty in that new territory with that new audience, and people listen to you as if you know what you're talking about, right? They listen to you as a credible source, a trusted source. And you create a connection quickly. So when you're in new territory, don't freak out and be like, oh, I've never been here before. I don't know what to do. I'm so overwhelmed. No, pause. Find that thing you know to be true and find a way to bring that into the conversation. If you have to change the conversation in order to bring that certainty into it, do that. So some of you feel like, so let's put this in your example now. Some of you feel like when you're doing your important work in the world, you are confident and clear. When you're actively engaged in the work you're doing, you're confident and clear. And if somebody were to sit down with you at coffee and ask you about what you do, you would explain it in a way that felt confident and clear. But the minute that you have to go onto a Facebook Live or write a blog post or do something for a new audience in a new delivery style, you get in your head about it. And you think you're supposed to write it in a certain way, or how is it supposed to sound, or do I look okay? And so we start to get worried about these other factors, right? And you leave behind your certainty. And if you leave behind your certainty and show up to do a Facebook Live or write a blog post, then all we're left to judge you by, and I don't really mean judge, but like we're trying to figure out how to relate to you. And if we can't relate to you from your certainty, then we're going to relate to you through all the things we observe about you. And those are the very things you're afraid we're going to see. Right? You're afraid we're going to see, you think you don't look good on video, for example, and you're afraid we're going to see that. And you forget to bring your certainty with you, and so guess what we see? We see that you don't feel very confident on video. Yep, that's right. And that's what you leave us with to measure or judge what it is you're up to. So this is scary, stepping into new territory a lot of times, new uncertain territory. And so what I want you to do is just know that when you bring the things you know to be true, and you find a way to make your content about that, your marketing about that thing you know to be true, and then you connect the thing to be true back to what it is that you're about, all of a sudden you have this, you're bringing with you certainty into uncertainty, and then you do it and you're like, that didn't go so bad, and your certainty expands. And you'll do a Facebook Live today, and you'll do one tomorrow or the next week, and you keep doing them, bringing your truth with you, and all of a sudden, Facebook Lives, which were uncertain territory, are no longer uncertain, and you feel certain about them now. And this is how we grow our certainty. And it's important for you to grow your certainty because that is how people choose to buy from you. They don't buy from people that aren't certain. Nope. So if you want to expand your business, expand your income, if you want more money, then you need to find ways to bring your certainty into your marketing, because that is how we're judging whether we want to work with you or not. Thanks for hanging out with me today in this episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. We'll catch you tomorrow for another episode. Until then, have a great night, and we'll see you.